So I have a special guest with me. Her name is
Appiah. Reality, this is really like modern day colonization because it's the mindset. Like we've physically liberated ourselves, but mentally, we're deeply colonized.
Yeah.
And we need to mentally also liberate ourselves so that we can see ourselves as human beings. Like we can do it. And like sometimes, people in your families have not done certain things, or nobody in your community has been to a certain level in life. And you might not think, oh, I can do it. Nobody has been. But if we're able to come together, like it doesn't matter. You're on the continent,
this is why I love
in the diaspora, in America. We need to come together, man. Black solidarity is important more than ever.
Yeah. So true. Yeah, and we were like talking even earlier, like I was telling her about my experience when I went to Ghana, when I went to volunteering. I was telling her about how like it was really cool. Like I went there, I was the only Black person that volunteered with a bunch of other Americans from other ethnicities. But like the way like some of the kids, when they would come running up to us excited to see us helping, and the way they treated me and the way they treated the others was very different. Like they even came up to me and they were like, aren't you like one of us? Like why are you? It's almost like they were confused, like that I came to help. Exactly. But they were more receptive to receiving help from my other peers, who to them it was like, oh, foreigners coming to help us, white people coming to help us. So like I was telling her like that white savior complex, like that our mindsets needs to be changed, and that's why things like this keep happening, things like China keeps happening, because it's like, what?
And even on that, I read something to this comment that Bill Gates' wife said about when she heard about this whole corona issue, and she was like, oh, in a few weeks there will be dead bodies in Africa. And she was like, I've been to the townships and there's something I see, they don't even have water, they don't have this, how they're gonna survive, how is Africa gonna survive corona? Literally, like the audacity to say that about a whole continent. You are one single person. You and your foundation is one single organization, and to look down that actually Africa needs your organization to save themselves. Why are you doing this so-called philanthropy work? And I'm not undermining some of the work they've done, but like the undertones that have been exposed in this time, let's look at that. Because people are saying they're helping us, and you've been to the townships and slums, they don't have water. Did you give them water?
Come on.
Did you help build pipes for them? Like, I'm confused.
And also just like the whole like thing about them just like just wanting, I mean, I get helping, definitely, like obviously I'm very appreciative of like philanthropy.
Philanthropy, that word.
Philanthropy, and like they've done lots of good work within Africa, but it's almost like what you're saying, like the undertone of like things. It's like I get to wanting to help Africa. When the coronavirus first came out, they were like, oh, let's go to Africa first, and it's like,
and it wasn't even in Africa yet too. The corona was in China, but let's go to Africa. What are you doing? Hey! God help us.
I can't.
Need your help.
Exactly. Or like those doctors, those doctors. Let's not even get into that.
Because let's go test it on Africans. You know the crazy thing too, part of their thing that you brought up, they tested HIV on like, and even this with around prostitutes, like, or sex workers, like on the continent, and they spread it. So you talk about places like South Africa. Oh, HIV,
right.
Dude, they brought it.
Where did it come from? Where was the first case of HIV?
Like they tested it and then boom. Like, what is going on?
It's really sad.
We're like lab rats to these people, man.
I'm gonna make a video on that. Like just to see like what have they actually tested like on Africans, and like what has been the result of it, because it's really not fair. It's really not fair, and I think it's because we don't speak up. Like when Trump was like this Chinese virus, you saw on Black Twitter or on Instagram, Black people were like, don't do that. It's not. Don't discriminate.
Let's talk about that,
Don't discriminate, right? Black people were like, no, just like how people tried to discriminate against us when it was Ebola, we don't want that to happen to China. But now look what happens. Now who's standing up for Black people? Nobody.
And that is such a important conversation, because even with Black Lives Matter, people are angry at the movement, all lives matter. Right. I understand, we're not saying all lives do not matter,
right.
But we're saying throughout history, if you look at how black people have been treated. Even look at how more black people are dying fast in America. Like, and even going back to you wanting to even look about how have black people been like tested and all these things.
Yeah.
Black bodies have been used as literally stuff for the medical system. Even in America, black women's bodies, black men's body parts, let's test on these people. All kinds of things, right? And I feel like it's not okay that, you know, we black people we are able to stand in solidarity with other communities, man. But when it comes to black issues, who is there?
Who is there? Honestly, it's only us. When it comes to other issues, we out there. We out there.
Oh,
you know?
we stand with communities,
and that's good. And I think that's the beauty of us. I think that's literally the beauty of black people. Honestly, like I feel like black people are very compassionate people. Like I feel like if roles were reversed, black people would have never done such a thing. Like, you know what other races have done.
True.
You know, I feel like it's definitely a blessing, but it's also like where are you guys? Like we need people to be talking about what's happening in China so that things can change. We need people to be talking about how like the health system is failing people in the US, black people in the US, and that's why they die. We need people to talk about how there's no opportunities in Africa because there's lots of exploitation. We need people to talk about these things.
And I think even the question, like, where do we start actually? Like, how do we address these issues, right? And I think an important beginning part is knowledge.
Knowledge, yeah.
If we did not know what's happening in China, who was gonna make a video to talk about it? Knowledge is power. And I think one of the ways that even you see a lot of division in the black community, like continental Africans or Caribbeans, African Americans, you know, Afro, Latino, X, like all these things, is because we don't have knowledge. We don't. Because in Ghana growing up, I didn't really learn a lot about the African American community.
Right.
All you learn about your ancestors, they got shipped and like the story ends there. Like, wait, what actually happened? Did they survive? So I feel like it's getting the educating ourselves. First of all, the education system don't even be teaching us about our own history. So I feel like learning about ourselves, what is truly going on in our community. Sometimes going outside of your door, I know like social distancing, I get it, but we should be learning more about ourselves, having these conversations across tables, and able to, and I'm not saying let's shut our differences. So much has happened in our community, but let's come and talk, educate each other. I was born in Ghana, I was raised there. My experience compared to maybe an African American may be different, but we are all black people, right? We come from the same land. But I think it's the knowledge. And really, even when the history is nowhere to be found, let's begin with us. Let us tell our stories and make history, you know? Because if we don't, nobody else will do it for us.
Literally nobody else will. No, you just actually reminded me of something else. So another comment from one person who is an African American who lived in China, and somebody asked him like, oh, what are you doing about it? And he was like, well, I'm not doing anything because Africans aren't doing anything. And I was like, I mean, okay, fine, like people aren't doing anything, but like your logic of to why you're not doing anything, like that is the root problem. We lack unity. Either one person was like saying like, you don't get like Chinese people, right, saying like, oh, I'm Chinese American, or I'm like European Chinese, you know, so like that, those distinctions, like when they come together, like it's we all just Chinese. It's only black people that there's such divisions, and it's not our fault that there's these divisions because we know who created those divisions. That's a conversation for another day. But anyway, but it's like it's about time we like start, you know, your problem, even though we're not from the same background, like when people see us, they don't say, oh, you South Africa, you Congolese, you Ghana. They see a black person. They see a black person and they profile you according to whatever stereotypes they have. And so it's about time we start coming together and standing together and you know, having, like you said, black solidarity. In the time of black solidarity is needed so much. So
I think it's super important. I think these are things we can reflect on, you know, like, and it's not like, oh, let's talk and do nothing. Like, I really like to see even there's some more action that you take, whether it's you starting to follow up with what is going on in China and telling your families, whether it's you checking in with your other Africans or like just the black community, the people that you have in your life, just, you know,
check-ins.
And with mental health, you know, whatever you can do, man, emotional health. It's like, it's not like And I think there's something about social justice. Many people think it's on a big, let me go change the world.
Right.
But I think I went to Rec Week, which is like Reconciliation Week, but it's more like social justice and Jesus, like able to make difference through the life of Christ. And one of the things that I learned is that it's like social justice begins with you, and then it's relational, then systematic. Like I cannot be talking about
and then systematic. You hear that?
I cannot be talking about economic injustice when I can even budget my own money. Like I'm not like saying we can't talk about all these issues, but it begins with us.
Right.
It really begins with us, you know. And I think it's important that we first get the education, we talk about it, the small scale. It can really be you tutoring your sisters, your brothers, helping them with homework. Like it can be as little as that, and then it will become that global movement. I think this we should do more series on this. Like how can we mobilize?
And actually, a thought just came to mind to all our like non-Black viewers. Like, I hope you don't take this as an attack, because sometimes you see that, right? Like it's like it's almost like when Black people become like super Black conscious, or like super like into like and then it's almost like some people feel attacked, or they feel like hated, but like no, please don't take it that way. We just expressing how we literally do feel about these topics, and us being Black conscious doesn't take away from us loving our neighbors or us caring about other issues too, but like this is you know what I'm saying? And
even if you feel attacked, man, check your heart. Like what is underneath that? Why do you feel attacked? Like literally when I sometimes people make me feel certain way, like sometimes it's not you, but sometimes I'm like, yo, why do I feel? Ask yourself that question, because there may be things there that you don't even know. So even those emotions, oh my God, like are they anti everybody? No, that's not like you said. This is actually something that we care about, and I think even going back to issues around like Black Lives Matter movement, people are this life matter. This don't try to invalidate people's movement and life because of your
experiences too.
Yes,
because like if I go through something, I can tell you about what I go through, but you will never 100% understand exactly what I went through. And so when I say I went through something and I feel this type of way, like it's not right to invalidate.
Yo, that's
a whole topic for another day. Okay,
so yes, like if you feel those attack, man, check your heart. Why do you feel that way? And face the hard questions. I would love to hear some of the conclusions that you come with as you reflect on those emotions,
Thanks, Stephanie, for watching. I know we kind of spoke about a lot of things, but I thought it's really needed to get like kind of a full like picture of like how we as like Africans living in America, how we feel about this issue. And so like let us know how you feel about this issue. Let us know like some of the things we spoke about. Grace threw a lot of like big words out, not big words. She threw a lot of keywords. A lot of keywords like neocolonialism, Black solidarity,
Pan-Africanism,
white savior complex. What do you guys think about that? Definitely leave comments below. And Grace did say she's gonna come back. So
and let us know what you're doing in your home, even in this quarantine. What are you doing to educate yourself to still stay active in the community, even though we may not be physically, in contact? Like, tell us, what are some of the solutions that you think of when you hear all of these issues?
So thanks for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel.
Yes, and get educated by my sister. Get educated.
And like and subscribe. Yo, you feel funny.
Share.
What I was saying.
Share.
And share, yes, definitely share. We want this word to go out because people need to hear. And people need people need to hear about what's going on.
Facts.